And I never try to steal his food. He can have it all for himself. All the way over there. Far. Hello cookies, it's Siri. I am back and today I thought we could do a chill video. I realized that I dislike most foods that most people all over the world consider comfort food or treats or foods that you eat when you just want to have a really good time. Everyone around me loves those things, consumes them quite often, and I never say, oh, this is disgusting, or oh, this is that and that, oh, you should not eat that, oh. I never do anything like that. If they offer me, I just say, I'm good, thank you. And they say, why you don't like it? And I say, no, not really, but more for you then. I don't make a big deal out of it, and people usually don't. The number one thing is French fries. I've always loved documentaries since I was little. I saw a documentary talking about how French fries were just empty calories and really bad for you, for cholesterol. It's so high in calorie that you can't eat much stuff afterwards without gaining weight, but at the same time you don't get all the good stuff in you. And for some weird reason that's stuck in my young brain. But when I was younger, I used to like French fries. Now as an adult, I don't like French fries. I think the taste is bland and it doesn't give me anything in terms of nutrients or protein or fibers, and I usually feel weird in my stomach after eating fried food, and French fries for me is just not worth how I feel afterwards, and I don't crave them. If someone that I'm with orders them, I don't even feel like stealing some fries. You know, some people just steal a few fries here and there, especially from their boyfriends or their husbands. I look at fries and go, no, this is not worth stealing. I don't care for this. The second thing is closely related to fries, and that is ketchup. And I think when I was younger, I used to like French fries and ketchup because I have vague memories of me being with my grandmother on the East Coast in Madagascar by the pool, and me just eating a lot of French fries with ketchup, but I think that was when I was super young. Ketchup is just a no-go. I think it's way too sweet. I have tried again lately because the boyfriend likes ketchup and it's just, nah, I don't like it. The third thing is still a condiment, and that is mayonnaise. And yes, I said mayonnaise because I'm not entirely sure how you say it properly in English. You don't have to be a genius to understand what I mean with mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is something that I find scary in terms of calories, and don't start getting all mad at me. I don't really count calories that much, but mayonnaise is super high in calories, and for me, having a spoon or two of mayonnaise and then it's 1/3 of what I can eat in a day because I'm quite short and small, it's not worth it. I'd rather eat other things instead that I find nicer than mayonnaise, and plus the consistency, the taste, the smell, it doesn't really appeal to me unless it is the perfect setup. In Madagascar, when you're on the East Coast and you're swimming turquoise sea the whole morning, and then you go back to the hotel or you find a restaurant, and then they have this pontoon or small house right in the middle of the ocean, so you're still on top of the water, and then they come and serve you freshly grilled prawns, lobster, and all types of seafood, and it's hot weather, it's sunny, you're still a bit wet and sticky from the seawater, a bit of sand, and then you dip a shrimp or prawn or lobster piece into mayonnaise and you eat it. Oh, that is perfect. I haven't done that in years. I haven't done that in more than 10 years probably, but that setup would just be perfect, and that would be the only circumstance when I would eat mayonnaise, and it has to be exactly like that. Everything has to be there. Nothing should be missing. I need my 4 grains of sand on my shoulder that I just wipe a bit like this when I start getting drier, and then I could eat mayonnaise, and then it's perfect. But otherwise, no. This next one, no one will understand me, but I have a very too much information type of story linked to it, but it is Nutella. Nutella for me is just a flavor that makes me nauseous, but I have an excuse. I used to have digestive issues when I was a child and a teenager, and my mom used to try and find new pills, tablets, things to give me to eat so that I could go to the bathroom. So when I was a teenager, she found medication that tasted exactly like Nutella. So prior to that, I had no issues with Nutella. It was good, it was okay. My mom bought it every now and again. I did not really mind eating it. But then that medication, I took it in the evening, and then the night was not fun. It was extremely painful that night and I almost fainted. It was terrible. So Nutella really reminds me of that night. Every time I taste Nutella, I have flashbacks of that night, of the smells, of the pain, of everything. So because of that, I cannot have Nutella, and I'm really happy about it because I know that Nutella is not super ethical or sustainable with the palm oil and other things. It's not like, oh, now I love Nutella, but I can't have it, like so many people who decide to take a stance, and that's really amazing that they're doing it, even though they love Nutella. I guess I'm taking a stance, but it also helps that I don't like Nutella. Red wine. I do not like red wine, white wine, rosé wine, any type of wine, cheap wine, fancy wine, exotic wine. I don't know, all types of wines. I just don't like wine. I think it's bitter, it has a weird taste, and also I'm allergic to wine. It always hurts my stomach so much whenever I consume wine. I'm not entirely sure why, but it hurts, it doesn't taste good, and I get really, really dizzy very quickly. I could have 1 or 2 sips just to try, and every time it hurts the stomach, I get dizzy, I get sleepy, and every time I'm also disappointed by the taste. When I was younger, people used to tell me, you will change your mind once you grow up, it's an acquired taste, but I guess my taste buds are still stuck at 5 years old. Fun story though, this is the exception to the rule. When I was filming my thesis documentary in Singapore to finish my film studies, I was following a subject of the documentary, and he was also a friend of mine, and if he's dropping by, hello. He was supposed to go wine testing one evening to a huge wine festival, and his wife was pregnant, so he asked me if I wanted the ticket so I could also follow him with my camera and film him. So I went. Of course, I did not like wine back then, but I thought, okay, you know what, I got this free expensive wine testing festival ticket, I might as well try. I always try to be open-minded with things. I don't say I don't like it without trying, so I always try things with an open mind, and actually I always expect to like things, which is weird because I guess people go, okay, I can try. Oh, I knew it, I wouldn't like it. But for me, I go, oh, I can try. And I always expect things to be good, but sometimes they turn bad. So I went to try some of the wines at one of the stands, and it was delicious. I had 3 glasses of it. I did not get a headache. I did not feel the usual lousy feeling in my stomach. I did not get dizzy. It just was delicious wine. I love it. It was so good. And of course I tried some more. I did not like any of them, but that particular wine was so good. And guess what? I never took the name of the wine. I never took the country of the wine. I never took any details, so I have no idea what it is. The one wine that I ever liked, I have no idea what it is. And I think the color was white wine, this almost transparent type of wine. So that's the only clue I have. The next one is in the same vibe, and it is beer. The boyfriend likes beer. Most people I know love beer, and when people say, you know what, this is a nice summer day, I really would like a fresh, cold beer. In my head I just go, it's so bitter to me. The start is bad, but the aftertaste for me is even worse because I think it gets bitter right here in the throat. There are so many fancy beers. I was on dates with this guy who collects expensive, fancy, handmade collectible beer, so you can actually save some of the cans and put them on a shelf for like every year and stuff like that. And he was nice enough to make me try. I'm not sure why people would spend this much, but do you? And actually I bought him some of the fancy beer just as a random gift. I don't get the whole hype of a fancy beer, but if you like it, I can get it for you, I don't mind. The worst thing for me is beer that is non-alcoholic. For some weird reason it tastes even worse. And I thought that I would like it better because I'm not that much into alcohol. I think it burns my throat. This video sounds like I'm 5 years old and talking about things. Wine is bitter, beer burns my throat, alcohol burns my throat. And then the last thing is chicken. And chicken, out of all of those things I have mentioned, is the worst. I hate chicken. And I don't usually use that H word that much because I think it's way too strong. So I say I dislike, I don't like, it's not my cup of tea. The boyfriend is entering the house now while I'm filming, and that usually kills my vibe, but I'm going to pretend he hasn't arrived and continue talking. Even if I still ate meat, I would still not eat chicken. It's the smell, the look, the texture, the taste. Before, I used to love chicken. When I moved to Singapore, I would have chicken rice for dinner, breakfast and lunch because that's how much I loved it and I think it was so good. And then when I moved to Sweden with my partner back then, we used to have chicken sandwiches all the time, almost every single day. So one day I was going to make myself a chicken sandwich and then I bit into it and I just could not. I thought that was the most disgusting thing I'd ever eaten and that just turned me off, and that's it. And it's so weird how a switch can happen like that from one day eating chicken every day, loving it, to just taking a bite of a chicken sandwich and going, oh, this tastes horrendous, I cannot take it. The boyfriend, who is there trying to be quiet, still eats chicken. I think he's quite happy that I don't like chicken because then I never try to steal his food. He can have it all for himself, all the way over there, far. And I'm going to say hi to him because we always say hi when he comes home. Hello, baby! And that's the end of this video. The sun is shining brightly on my face, so I'm not even sure you can see me because I can't see my camera right now. I'm just totally blinded. And I have at least 14 more items of food that usually the rest of the world loves and I don't. For example, there's the B word in there. Ooh. What B word? Burgers. I don't like burgers. I'm super happy with just water-boiled vegetables. I'm not even joking. So I'm not that fussy. I like simple stuff and also like nicer, fancier stuff, I guess. So I'm not that fussy. I just don't like the regular stuff that usually everyone likes. So if you want more of that, let me know. If you don't, then let me know. And I will see you cookies at the next video. Bye bye!